Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. And I'm going to make a jackalope. And to do that, I'm going to get these antlers off this horrible deer, or elk, or whatever it is, and put them on this enormously cartoonishly large rabbit. And this will be a little bit reminiscent of a project we did in days gone by. Whenever we did the the Rabbit of Caerbannog for the infernal entry in the monster manual. So I'm going to hold that down on there and try to get a good grip. And let's hope it stays. It looks like it wants to. I'm going to get a little bit more glue to make sure it's permanently there. Okay, something like that. All right, let's snip these horns off and take a look at them. And I remember to turn my glue gun on. It's a miracle. So these are a little bit bigger than what I want. But I think we can fix that by snipping this top part off right there, like that. Something like that. Okay. And then we want to mount those right in front of the ears. So to get those started, I'm just going to get a tiny dab of glue. A dab of glue. Like that. I'm going to stick it right there in front of the ear. Just like that. And I want the other one to kind of match it, so I'm going to do the same thing. Something like that. Okay, let's get a little bit of glue on there. Oh, knocked it right off like a son of a gun. Okay. Let's get a little bit of baking soda. Okay. Get a little bit behind the ears too. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow on it to get rid of the excess baking soda. Then I'm going to sprinkle, or excess glue, I'm going to sprinkle baking soda. Okay. Now our jackalope's looking pretty decent. The one horn did move a little bit, but it's kind of permanently crooked. And that's all right. Something like that should work nicely. All right, it's got a little tail and all the parts we need it to have up to this point. I cut off a little injection bump there. I'm just kind of trying to drag some hair. And it's got a couple little mold lines, but I think I'm just going to leave those. All right, so let's base coat this. To do that, I'm going to grab a sleeve and go to a box by the fan here, and I will be right back. Whoopsh. Cool. Jackalope's a quick build, it's an easy build. If you got the parts laying around, it's no work whatsoever. If you have to manufacture your antlers, it probably becomes a little bit more of a job. Let's get a piece of cardboard here. Ba-da-da-da-da. And a piece of makeup brush. Oh, let's get the whole makeup brush. I don't know if a piece would cut it. All right. Boop. Let's come up here and try to find some texture. It looks like we got some. Not the most, but some. For being a cheapie, I think this is a Dollar Tree one. I'm not sure where I even got this thing. But for being pretty cheapie, it definitely has a lot of texture. Unfortunately, you don't have a ridiculous amount of need for a bunch of rabbits like this. I think that, I don't know if this is the same exact sculpt as the one I used for the Infernal Rabbit of Carabanog, which, for those of you that know it, that's a Monty Python reference. All right, so what colors can we use here? Well, let's start with the base. We're going to do the base in deep brown from Dollar Tree, because we still have it, and we're going to have to just keep making Western terrain till it's gone. I'm joking. We're still playing our Western campaign, so of course we have to use Western terrain. Didn't think the Western campaign was going to catch. I literally modified the rule sets for Tomorrow Comes Doom to make a Western in like less than a week, and had no time to even like really do too much theory crafting on balancing the different focuses, which are essentially just feat trees. And now here we are on, I think, session 6 or 7. Session 7 on Friday will be. And one of my players is literally, this is his first time playing with our group, and he's driving 3 hours one way to come play. And he's been here twice already. So, yeah, it's a pretty good setup. Okay, let's get a medium beige type color and a khaki. Well, a little bit of beige goes a long way when you're doing base stuff. Let it go, let it go. So both of my adult sons, Mrs. Doom and I, were playing Marvel Rivals prior to this, and I play tank like almost exclusively because no one wants to. I'd like to be a damage dealer. I'd like to be one of those front lines Human Torch types, but I'm like a Captain America, Thor, Ben Grimm kind of guy, I guess, because I don't have a choice. That's not perfectly dry, but I think that'll get us started. So I think I want my Jackalope to be gray. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with a medium gray. For my medium gray, I'm going to use pewter. I'm going to use pewter gray. I'm going to get my brush. I'm going to dry it off. I'm going to get a dab of water. Right there. Go ahead and thin this out a little bit. Whoa. Now they know stinky pole, stinky hole. La 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 la. So obviously, if you're going to use this as a combat encounter, the Jackalope's going to have some kind of gore attack with the antlers. It's going to have some kind of leaping escape to where it can bound around. Maybe it can summon other rodents or creatures to its aid. Maybe you have to roll some kind of personality or wisdom or charisma save to attack it. There's a lot of things you could do to kind of spice it up and make it more than just your standard encounter. Now I'm going to get a little bit of this ugly country gray and do some dry brushing. Then I'm going to come back and do the antlers, the mouth, the eyes, the nose. So this country gray is pretty hideous of a color. It's like a, I don't know, it's like a warm tone light gray. I don't know, I just really don't care for it too much. But I'm just going to hit some of these areas that need it. Now, you can come back over on this as many times as you need to get the right look. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just coming back around and back around trying to get the look I want. I think that's the look I want on mine. Now, I'm going to get my little brush I had. And I'm going to get a good color for those antlers. I'm going to use antique white. And then I'm going to hit them with a bone-colored speed paint. A lot of kids now get like elective surgeries. And I say elective, like say they were born with a big mole. They get it like removed. Now when I was a kid, if you had shit like that, you just kind of had it. You know, you didn't get rid of it. It just kind of was something you had to live with. I mean, I had a dude named Greg I knew. They called him Turd because he had these like weird turd growths all over him. he just didn't get, like, as an adult, he got them removed. But as a kid, like, when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, you just didn't, like, I don't know. People were just mean and nobody really thought too much of it. And if you had some weird shit, you just kind of had some weird shit, man. You know, you look like some kind of deal. That was what happened. No one fixed it for you. Now I'm always hearing stories from the kids' school about this and that and the other, and so-and-so's got this thing cut off their arm, and man, I'll tell you what, dude. I mean, with the exception of like hair lips and stuff, or I think it's called hair lip, like where your top lip doesn't grow right. I know there's probably a more politically correct name for it, but I don't know what it is. When I was growing up, it was called hair lip. It might be anything now. I'm just doing a little bit more touch-up stuff where I need it. Okay. Nothing too spectacular. Let's get the little butt. Nice. All right, let's dry this off and then we'll do the antlers. I'm going to get a sip of my beverage here. And this speed paint is called Pallid Bone. And we're just going to use this little piece of tape because we only need a little bit anyways. Something like that. That's more than I needed for sure. I think I got most of the white from what I can tell. Okay. Something like that. And then we need to do the eyes. For the eyes, I'm going to get this off-white mummy robes color here. I'm just going to get a tiny dot of that. Like that. And just making the tiniest dots on both sides where the model's eyes were. Just like that. I'm just going to go back and forth till they're even. Then I'm going to do some pink for the nose. And this is called Cameo Pink. I'm just going to get a tiny little pink for the bunny nose. And just make a little triangle there. Just like that. And let's get a bright blue color. This is called Electric Blue. And we'll do the irises with this. we're about done here. I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to hang out with me today and watching. I know there's a ton of good stuff on YouTube all the time, and the fact that you guys spend time with me is amazing. It's a big deal. I love those little brushes. If you want to continue helping the channel out, though, you could do this for me. You could like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, leave a comment. And there's always dungeonswag.com. Link will be in the description. And if you're watching the channel, you can just use my discount code and get you a little bit off your first monthly box. Right now, the Scorebook has a really good promotion. If you get somebody else to give their information to our Discord, they will receive a free box of miniatures in the mail. And if they end up subscribing, you will get an extra free box of miniatures next month. So you should definitely check that out. And come to the Discord. Links in the description for that too. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.